Appreciate it. You caught me off guard there. Nonetheless, things are getting intense here on the ground at ESL Pro League Season 5. It's the final day, and we are looking to garner, I believe it's our remaining 2 teams. I could be wrong there. Is it the remaining 2 or 3?
Could be 3. Could be 4. Who knows at this point? It's so close.
It's all about the numbers.
It's all about the numbers, and the numbers are like. Unfortunately, I'm not like the guy from A Beautiful Mind. I'm not Rain Man. Like I don't do numbers well. At least not live. So
I'm from Alabama. I don't do numbers at all. So
there we have it. But what we do know is that Cloud9 still vying for playoff contention together with Luminosity and Optic going into the very, very last maps of Pro League.
Okay, well, we're going to bring our commentators in now. And how bad is this going into train for Cloud9? What do they need to do?
They need to win.
I don't know if they need to do anything.
No way.
Nah,
I don't even know if they need to do anything because I'm getting this guy telling me that they're already in. Other people saying they need to win to get in.
We just need to do some probably win a safe there, right?
Wait. Apparently, what we're being told right now is that they are guaranteed through regardless of the outcome of this map. That's what I was just recently told. So that's the current news from the front.
Regardless, shouldn't be getting beat up on by NRG like that. I think that's like the big story here. We're going to go into train. Give me some quick predictions, guys.
I don't know. I gotta think about it.
I don't know anything anymore. All right.
Forget it. You guys just take it. Hey, let's just watch the game. You guys take it from here.
All right. Thank you very much, Stunna. Yeah, we are getting ready to jump into train now, so we should be readied up in the map in just a few seconds here. Just waiting for the last couple of players to ready up, and then we will jump right into it. But yeah, last word that we have heard from the admins so far is that Cloud9 are through.
I don't trust these admins
regardless of the outcome of this match, we'll have final confirmation of that once this second wave of matches has concluded. But for right now, that's the word. Just note that could change. Anyway, getting into the map now. Pistol round between these 2 teams with NRG starting on the CT side, and we're immediately going to see combat between them. Breeze, Peter, able to hold off for the first 2 kills. Nothing trading one back, and Breeze on the run. Thankfully for him, won't be chased out right now. Fugly there to support things as well from further back behind the bottom of the box halls there. Now more trying to push their way back out, but Dap still holding strong, picking up his first kill on nothing. And now it's just Skadoodle and Automatic left alive here, trying to push themselves up to the site so they can at very least get the plant, but Automatic gets clothesline, knocked out of the round. And the same will be for Skadoodle as he's eliminated, and that will give NRG control of yet another pistol.
I'm not going to lie, Blue, I wasn't really watching very much. I was trying to figure out these standings because I do not understand it, man.
So it's like this every season.
It is. It really is.
Well, I believe it is coming down to Luminosity and Optic, essentially, to determine the final slot. So we'll, of course, get updates on those respective matches as they do become available later on in the map itself. But we're still focusing on this one, just in case something unexpected should happen with the rankings, especially if Cloud9 lose this one, too. That in itself would be a surprise for NRG to take it too well. But not getting much done here in the first couple seconds of the round. Cloud9 just splitting their players up, taking the usual box halls control, and they have a few more pushing up towards Ivy, which are now going to start to aggress out into the open here, finding Daps further back, but not doing much damage to him early on, and they just promptly smoke that back off. Still, players just kind of waiting the time down right now, with NRG focusing a lot of their own efforts just back over outside on A. They are just going to preemptively try and read into this and put everyone out there while holding Little Man at the edge of Z. And the same for Fugly, a little bit deeper in towards B. They'll be the 2 players to respond to that in the event Cloud9 do go for a bit of a switch up, but not going to be happening with the current time and positions of the Ts. They're definitely going to be swinging this over towards A, trying to make an effort here. But like I said before, NRG, well, at least until a second ago, were set up for this, but all of a sudden they just set 2 more inside of Z towards the B site. So they only have 3 all of a sudden out here to defend this. Good Molotov, though, completely kills the entire hit over towards Ivy. Shroud surprises against Breeze, and Little Man's distracted too. So that swings the gates wide open, and they're going to be able to find more. Stewie walks himself into another kill, traded back by Fugly, but he can't hold on for more than that. Nothing picks off Fugly, just leaving Peter alive in a 1v3 situation, trying to push himself out towards Ivy and get himself back into this site somehow, but now they're going to be paying attention to him as he does go for this walk, and he actually gets a moment of clarity here, but misses a free shot on the Skadoodle. And now they know exactly where he's playing from. He knows he doesn't have a chance at this one, so he's just going to crawl back out through Ivy, give up on this one, and allow for Cloud9 to trade out the round, going 1 for 1.
Yeah, anti-eco win. They just kind of group up Ivy push Ivy together with 2 players at team mid. And then just crunch all over the outside site. Lowman gets caught throwing a flash grenade. Breeze gets caught looking towards Ivy and team mid, back and forth, gets 1-degged. And then that player in Z, like all 3 kills that they got, the initial kills by Cloud9 were basically on people not even...
It was like a chain reaction.
...reacting or looking at them.
One distracts the other, and then they end up looking in the wrong direction for another aggressive peek from C9. Well, now NRG have to go in for their own force here, and it's going to be Cloud9 that have the gun advantage going into the 3rd round of the half so far. A lot of aggression from the NRG camp, and I think Cloud9 did spot it when they sent Automatic out here. He's already hugging towards the edge of Olaf, and Moore still sitting inside of T-Con and up on top of that ladder, and Breeze wanting to challenge some of this one, but he is going to have to check over on his right. He does check for it, but Automatic still takes him out regardless. Now Peter trying to still hold off towards Ivy, gets a nice tag, and actually finishes off Stewie in the process. But Automatic trading him out just a moment later and pushing deeper into the site. Now they have good control. Still trying to hold in T-Con here. Very messy spray, though, so Little Man's going to take him down. Not only that, but he just got the bomb under his control, too, but he's still alone in this position. There's a CT up on top of Ladder that's going to be able to hop back in, eliminate Shroud, but in the meantime, they lost Little Man. Dap pushes up to the bomb train, and now Automatic sits alone. He's retrieved the bomb, and he still has to win at a 1v2. Fugly having himself a rifle to play with. Dap still sitting on the CZ, a little bit further back by the Ivy train. He will find him in the open there, but gets dinked in the process, and now only one more to go, and it's going to be Fugly. But he's backed away from this entire situation. I think he's going to try to wrap all the way towards Z, possibly. Maybe reading into the fact that Automatic would have dived into Z and then gone for the actual play here. But Automatic sits on the cusp of an ace if he can close this one out. Well, NRG definitely not giving up on fighting. But the problem is Fugly taking so much time to now go back into the site that he has allowed for Automatic to escape down the Ivy tunnel, where he has a very, very secure position to just win this one on a timer if necessary. Still seeing Fugly systematically attempt to clear out the site, and he does not have a kit either. So not a whole lot of time to actually make this happen. Basically has to rush back and hope he can find Automatic in the appropriate position, but still is not caught onto the fact of where exactly he's hiding out. He's being very loud about it too, moving in. He has to jump onto this bomb. He did find a kit for himself though, so Automatic gonna creep up, but I'm not sure if he's gonna be able to find it. Time does catch him, but he's not gonna get the spray quickly enough. So we do see Fugly winning it out for NRG, and now they're up 2-1.
Yeah, Fugly doesn't even drop the smoke, actually. I was pretty surprised by that. Just goes for the full lock and defuse. Ends up winning that 1v1. And all the 1v1 clutches, man, just going NRG's way. Yep. Just going back to Inferno. That's 2 by Fugly, that's 1 by Daps. All 3 were huge rounds.
So right back into the fray between these two teams, though, as Cloud9 still have enough to force into this one. And this essentially kind of turns into our first gun round here now, with NRG getting aggressive. Stewie holding off for 2 kills, but then goes down to Breeze. And for Shroud pushing back out, he's going to re-equalize things in the favor of Cloud9, getting them full outside control. They've pushed out aggressively onto Ivy, though, and it's going to be Daps holding that position along with Breeze still back in those box cells. So they could line themselves up in a position to still win this one out and actually maintain that advantage that they just got back after winning the pistol, then losing the second one, but we'll see in a second here. Daps just arriving to the outside of T-Con, and we'll attempt to start to push in now. Shroud is paying attention to this one, though, and this does kill a lot of the effectiveness of this flank. Daps going to move in, immediately loses his own life, and now it's just on Breeze, who's going to probably end up, completely honest, better off saving the AK for the next round, as NRG are going to have to end up saving or forcing into it once again. So he'll just end up backing up towards T-Spawn. Sit into the corner and save not only the AK, but he's got just under $1,000 worth of utility sitting in his kit there too, along with the head armor. So that's quite a bit he'll be carrying into the next round. Essentially just a full buy for himself. And now we'll see if NRG do indeed decide to force upon it, or if they're just going to take. They're just going to take this more. Yeah, just take a breather.
It's like, I'm tired of this back and forth. We'll give you, a couple rounds here so that we can win more later. But they do opt to buy here. I think this type of buying generally favors Cloud9 though, just because they're on the T side. They're a little bit better at force buying, I think. I think that's one thing that NRG struggles with, as I said earlier. But it does look like they're going to get up close T mid towards ladder. Automatic all the way out towards Olaf though already.
Let's see Automatic getting into we saw Automatic getting into this position a few rounds back, and he was able to do work with it too. I think that was the second round where he used it pretty well. Now they actually have themselves not only the gun advantage, but utility advantage too, because everything from NRG is basically gone already. Little Man's got 1 smoke remaining, but that's it. They've used everything else. So waiting out another 20 seconds or so, Cloud9 should be able to freely execute onto really either site. Little man's going to be positioned over here on outer, so we should be able to restrict at least one of these angles, but Automatic goes for the peek, down to 1 HP, but he does win it out. Eliminates Breeze within the first few seconds of the round. Gives them that early advantage for a second time. That could get traded out in a moment here, though. He's just going to hug the corner. Little man doesn't even give him the courtesy of tossing in the smoke or flashbang or anything. Just goes right for the play. And while he does take down Automatic, Skadoodle is still in here, able to hold it off and picks up the trade kill, giving back the advantage to C9. As they continue to wait it out here, time getting low, so they're obviously going to have to execute in a second. But with this man advantage, just continues to make things easier, and NRG continue to play into it with their own aggression. Fugly may be the next victim of this if he continues forward from upper here. This could also go well for him. Shroud going to try to throw the fake downstairs over here. Smoke on the sidewalk and spreading through it, gets some decent damage too, but is going to get the better of a main out by Daps. They don't spot anything else moving into that side because of the upper pressure that they already had. So they're going to know it's working itself out towards A, but still really don't hold great positioning out on this site. They'll have to rotate their players back over and basically just set up for the retake right from the get-go on this one. Daps moving in from Z. Peter picking off Skadoodle when he tries to push himself towards that Ivy tunnel. And now advantage to the guys on Cloud9. This could very easily be fought back. Peter still holds on though, and right now picks up 2 out of the 3 potential kills that he could be able to get here. Nothing also down very low, 31 HP, and Peter again strikes with that scout, kills all 3 of the remaining players on the site, and should guarantee the 3rd round from NRG. This is going to continue to trade itself out. Now 5 rounds into the game.
Yeah, just back and forth, PTR. That round goes huge with that scout. Ending with 3 kills. I thought Stewie was for sure going to get him when he was at that angle. He was pre-firing him just like perfectly pre-aimed. And again, I mean, I'm assuming Cloud9's going to buy yet again. We'll see who's the first to give here. And it looks like it will be Cloud9. Just a half buy here. So maybe still opting to buy the next round, I would assume.
Yeah, NRG are going to be happy about this regardless, as they finally get themselves a little bit of a breather, as we were talking about before, and Little Man taking immediate advantage of that one. He knows that Automatic and some of the other guys on C9 have been really aggressive with pushing out towards T-Con, so this time he takes the initiative himself, pushes up, and I think he wasn't the only one either. I'm pretty sure he had support from Breeze over by Olaf as well. In the event things went badly for him, so now Breeze is going to be able to move back in, strike against nothing in Olaf, leaving just 3 players from C9 alive, restricted to T-Con and the ladder room, and Breeze continuing to knock him out one by one here. Shroud finally getting himself a kill, but it is short-lived. Skadoodle probably going to meet the same fate as he pushes forward, gets 1 against Breeze, and then is taken out by Daps. And off of that one singular save from C9, Cloud9 are able to full buy going into the 7th round. Should be able to. I thought at least they were going to be able to get themselves an op, but apparently not, so they're just going to stick with AKs and nothing. Is going to be downgraded to a Galil as well, as he's still sitting a little bit too low to be able to get that AK and have utility behind it. Where obviously everyone at NRG is still looking all right, as they are starting to build up their economy. We'll need to at least win out this round before they can get into a really safe position with it. Still split up with 1 minute and 20 seconds left on the clock. Probably setting up more than likely for usual T-Con and ladder room execute here. Not going to be using Ivy at all. They've actually had kind of mixed results over there, so instead just going to go directly into the site, and it works out initially, but Peter again saving the day here. Trades 2 kills back. He's still looking for Ivy pressure though, and this is going to hurt. So he took a more advanced position. He might have been able to move in and find a 3rd kill. Probably would have found himself traded out, so it is a good thing that he does not go in, but fires off through the smoke and finds himself dead a moment later anyway at the hands of Stewie. Fugly and Daps trading it back though, and now leaves just Stewie alive behind the E-box here. Try and clutch this out. It is planted for him, so he can safely sit here. He's got 2 pot flashes to try and utilize as well. And NRG will have to try and knock him out one by one, as they're both pushing up from the old bomb tunnel. This is not going to be too advantageous. They also are looking for him too, but then he hasn't repositioned. Gets 1 just off a snag kill against Daps, and ready to go for the 2nd duel. He uses that 2nd flashbang to be able to reposition himself into the open. And now Fugly trying to tap onto the bomb. His time is getting extremely low, but Stewie continuing to fake it out. Fugly still gets the kill, but I'm not sure if he has enough time for this to fuse anymore. It's going to come down very, very close, and he just gets it. So NRG pick up a 5th round.
That was down to like under a millisecond. That was so close. Oh my goodness. And Fugly again winning another 1v1.
Yep. There we go. And you can see on the screen now, we have had it confirmed. 5 out of 6 teams have been solidified for the Dallas playoffs. The ones that were still in contention as of today, being NRG and Cloud9, have both apparently secured their slots. So they are going to be heading to Dallas, and we're just trying to figure out that last slot. I believe it's come down to Optic versus LG.
Let's get some updates, Blue.
I don't know if we have updates.
What are Stunna and Vendetta doing?
I don't know. They're watching games. They're getting the updates ready. We don't have any updates right now.
Unbelievable, man.
we just have this match right now.
Wow. These guys taking their last day real casual.
Let's see. What's this?
We're over here doing the heavy lifting.
A 3-way tie between LG, Optic, and C9. C9 wins the tie.
See, this is what I don't understand. It's saying LG can only have 14 wins.
Yeah.
But are they including the match that they lost to Animal Squad or Winter Fox?
Do you mean are they including it for them or against them?
Against them, because they lost the map.
The match is void, is what it says. Like, it doesn't count for anything. That's what I was just told.
So it doesn't count for anything.
It doesn't count for anything. So just ignore it.
Okay, so if you look at the ESA website and you look at the standings, then you take 2 wins off of everybody that has beat them 2-0.
Okay, so hold on. So this is update on the Luminosity situation. If they win their map against Liquid, Optic's going to be eliminated. If Optic win against Complexity... Okay, so yeah, there we go.
I don't believe any of this. It's all just fake news until I see the final standings.
Okay, apparently what we're being told is that the ESCA one is not entirely up to date and that the Pro League website is what has the correct information on it.
I didn't even know there was a Pro League website, Blue.
Well, there you go.
I have only went to the...
You can go.
But on the Pro League website...
Yeah?
Okay. On the Pro League website, tell me how many wins SK has.
I don't know. You can go look it up.
Give me the details.
All right, well, back into the game here now. While you look that up, it is just going to be a Tech 9 and P250 round with armor behind it for C9. And we do have NRG, of course, still fully invested into this one, but with some limitations on it because of how close these rounds have come down to. 2 UMPs, 2 M4, actually, well, one of them is an AK, and then we have the op over there for Peter. Fugly, once again, tries to go for that Boxall's play, but it doesn't pan out too well for him. He's brought down to 24 HP after he makes the attempt, and it's a fallback really deep into the B-bomb site. Cloud9 keeping their options open in the early portions of the round here. They are going to have most of their players in Boxalls, and it is looking like they're grouping up the other 2 that initially pushed towards Ivy over here as well. So more than likely going to end up just a straightforward inter-execute. May try to throw a bit of a fake with this utility by, throwing smokes at the window and whatnot, but that's in a lot of situations can find itself very easily readable. So we'll see how NRG handles that in a second. As right now they do have Daps sitting over here at the edge of Z, and Fugly still sitting. I think he's right behind the spindles at upper right now, so he's got a pretty safe position for himself. He's just trying to jump peek it, as you can see. So Cloud9 now deploying their own utility. They don't try for that fake, so it's just directly in. And there's a bit of hesitation on this ramp push, too. Smokes in there. Daps gets a little bit of damage off, but other than that, all 5 players from Cloud9 now make it into the site unscathed, and they're pushing forward to take additional control. Re-smoking into Z. Haven't even tried to put the bomb onto the ground yet, but that's changing right now. And Fugly keeping himself nice and quiet, but it still doesn't pan out well for him. Eliminated by nothing. Breeze going to take his position as he swings forward. He's picked up 1, 2, and 3 kills for Breeze. One player tries to flank out against Little Man, but PTR saves the day, just leaving Skadoodle alive here in the 1v4 situation. But he's found one, going for the second in the open, and he's got it as well. A few more to hold up. There's the 3rd kill. 1 more to go. Can Skadoodle pull off this clutch? He almost had it before, and he's got another chance at it now, as PTR is going to push forward very quietly, trying to clutch it out, and he does find it again. Skadoodle falls 1 kill short of a massive clutch, and it allows for NRG to pick up a 6th.
Again, similar to that that spot on Emo on Inferno, man. Scott just almost coming up so huge. Still ridiculous that he was able to even bring this down into a 1v1 though.
Yeah. It's a second time it's happened now for him. Like you mentioned, back over on Inferno, we saw that when he had the op in hand, and this time he almost does it with a Tech 9. So great stuff from him, just isn't enough to push it to the very edge. So NRG still hold a little bit of an advantage here. And back up to full rifles for this next round as well, as Cloud9 will continue to buy into it. Similar split to what we have seen in previous gun rounds, just keeping the bomb with the Boxhalls players, obviously a little bit further back to watch out for ladder pressure, and the 2 towards Ivy to throw a little bit of aggression there. This time, though, the site take may actually find itself swinging into a different direction. Breeze is going to find himself inside of ladder watching for this, but I doubt he's actually going to get fully aggressive and try to push his way all the way up on top. The rest of the team, with Breeze included, they have 4 outside watching this, and only Fugly further back behind the Z train watching in the event they do try to make another ramp play. But NRG have been, once again, really good on the CT side with holding on to things. Once again, probably going to find themselves pretty good with that. Breeze just doesn't even hesitate with this spray either. Just keeps spamming into the wall, and 2 headshots line up as a result of that one. But Battleback is going to come in from Cloud9 as both Stewie and Skadoodle pick up their own entries. Peter with 1 for himself, holding the short lane against nothing. And now just down to 2 for C9. Skadoodle trying to slowly creep forward up to that bomb train and distracting as well so that Stewie can creep into the other site. But Skadoodle's knocked out. Now NRG are going to realize what happened though, and they'll have to go for a rotate over to the other bomb site. Stewie with a chance to try and clutch this back out. Skadoodle failed at it in the last round, so we'll see if Stewie has any better results with the bomb going down to the ground. He'll check for flanks first, but that's just going to give up positioning.
Yeah, I think they saw his feet.
Yep, so they're going to know he's up there. And he doesn't have any mollies or anything to throw down onto the site. And as soon as he tries to push that down ramp, Daps will spot that and clean him up pretty quickly.
Yeah, they saw his feet while he was going up lower, so it just became just a really, really easy clutch, knowing that he's not anywhere near the back lanes.
Yeah, so another failed attempt at a clutch from Cloud9. But still, with these consistent plants, and I'm pretty sure Max losing bonus at this point, they are keeping themselves with enough cash to be able to continually buy into this round to round to round over and over again with all AKs. No op, as that is being limited.
I mean, they're teetering on, you know, being forced into a double eco, NRG is, so C9 is, even though it's 7-2, it's actually like very, very close.
Peter trying to get aggressive now to make up for this a little bit. Stop Cloud9 from even getting ready for their execute. And there you go. Hits the shot on Skadoodle. Back into the smoke. Completely safe. With no way to challenge that anytime soon by nothing or anyone else. So still that's very similar lineup from C9 too. 2 men moving into Boxhalls to take control there. Bomb is being kept a little bit closer, I think, towards T-Con or on the steps leading up into Whitehalls. But other than this, just a 2-2 split amongst them and another 4-man stack for NRG out over on the A-bomb site. And just Fugly just solo watching behind the Z-train. But with time now getting a little bit lower, Cloud9, they're going to execute into... I don't think there's a straightforward A play with Ivy and T-Con being the routes they'll utilize. A little bit heavier towards Ivy as they split it 3-1. So I'm going to put a lot of pressure on that round. It's actually not a bad idea either. Assuming they smoke or molly off the left side, the only one there to defend it's going to be Daps. They'll have Breeze a little bit close, but he'll probably end up being distracted by Automatic. And Stewie gets a nice initial spray. That's just going to send Daps right back over, around the wrap, over into the other tunnels. Breeze, nice shot to open it up. Gets the second and the third as well. So he single-handedly kills the hit. And Automatic's now alone with 15 seconds left. No way he pulls this off. Best bet for him now, more than likely, is going to be able to pick up a few kills onto these players in the lanes, and then fall back to save the AK.
I wouldn't even chase here if I'm NRG. You know, he has money bonus. You're taking away a little bit, but it's not even much. Like I said, you should definitely chase there. Because when you're Breeze, you just kill everyone.
Yeah, so he ends up with a 4K on that round.
You know what I mean? Like, yeah, you're taking away, what does he have, 3,700 plus, you know, a couple nades, whatever, like 4,100. But he gets 3,400 anyways.
Yeah.
If you kill him. Unless you kill him after time. So it's like, why even bother?
So now that's going to force a full save from C9 Essential, or just a half buy extra for most players. Just Ska and Automatic going for the full save here. Peter right back into Boxhalls. It's been Fugly doing this before, but now Peter takes a crack at it and immediately hits a free shot onto Stewie. Automatic, though, creeping forward. He might be able to find Breezy for free. Gets that one and almost gets the second one onto the closer player, but Breezy trades it back in a much better fashion. Nothing is going to pick up this kill to be able to retrieve the bomb, but now down to a 3v2. This is going to be rough to pull off. Touchdown grenade from Little Man finishes off the job and taking out Shroud, and now just nothing alone with the 1v3 set against them. Immediately taken out by Little Man on his repeat, puts NRG up to 9 rounds.
What is going on with Cloud9 though?
Well, I mean, now that they're secured, they might be playing a little bit looser.
I don't know if they know that they're secured.
That's true as well.
Especially, like, I don't even know what their security is. I don't know if I trust these admins.
I mean, they're the ones who make the decision, so.
I mean, if there was like a, they just make decisions. They're like, yeah, it's okay. We have decided that, yeah, you're just not going to come to land. It's cool.
We're bringing Rush instead.
Yeah. Animal Squad or whatever is coming back.
we felt bad for them.
Yeah.
Well, again, we end up in another gun round here. Cloud9 finally getting themselves an op to play with in the hands of Skadoodle. I think this might be, I don't know if they actually were even able to buy one before, and if they did, it was like maybe 1 or 2 rounds at most. They've had plenty of buy rounds with this huge losing bonus that's stacking up for a while now. But same as the last couple of gun rounds, just running the timer down, not doing anything hyper-aggressive within the first minute or so here. And then essentially just lining up into what is now probably going to turn into a default since they didn't lose anyone early on. 1 going down ladder room, 3 going out T-Con, and then 1 going out Ivy. And NRG set up for this one. Not really going to throw any fakes. They still have a 4-man stack sitting at B. They do rotate a few over, but I think this is just to check into the site and make sure they aren't trying to throw a fake here, and then they'll rotate back at least one of those players in about 5 seconds or so. Finally shaping up for it, and it does lead itself to be a lot heavier actually towards Ivy this time. They push themselves in. First target's going to be Daps waiting around the corner, and Daps holding on the outside of the smoke, ready to take battles against them. Gets one, immediately traded by nothing. Breeze still waiting up on top of the blue train to help out with this too, but he's also got to be cautious of T-Con to make sure he doesn't get pushed from the other side. Peter, Skadoodle trade blows against each other, and Automatic hits his own entry. Now he can line up for more from E-Box, but misses his mark. Fugly moving in for 1-2, but with the loss of Little Man, now only 5 seconds remain. He's going to have to run up, grab that bomb and plant it. There's no time left to do it. So it is going to run out, and Fugly just hightails it out of there, giving NRG another round, and I believe putting them up to double digits now too.
Another 1v1.
There you go.
NRG just 1v1 gods.
Every single time. Some of these are like flub mistakes from C9, like not having enough time there.
Have they lost 1v1? I don't think so.
Not on this map that I can remember anyway.
Crazy.
Technically, even like that Skadoodle one turned into a 1v1 as well.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
Just keeps working out for NRG at the end of all these extremely important gun rounds. Even though their money, I don't even think their money's even that great yet. Automatic just take the duel right at the beginning of this round. More of them are going to push back out. Cloud9 is forcing the issue here this time. And Stewie moves in, picks up an entry. Going to put Breeze into a bit of a rough spot. He's no room to maneuver. Taken out by Breeze, but it caught changing guns. Fugly's going to pick up that kill. Nothing with a late walk out from Ivy, though. Does kill Daps and puts Cloud9 into a great position to finally pick up another round. However, Fugly is going to make his best attempt to clutch it back out. Moving in, picks up nothing, and now he's only got to eliminate Shroud. Minute 15 left, though, so Shroud has all the time in the world to play with this. This Fugly is going to take the more passive route. Still has the smoke to support him over here towards Z. He's going to fall back into the other side to check for that one, and that should give Shroud the window he needs to go for the plant. And he will continue to move forward. Right now, even trying to check over towards Z, too. But he's going to follow through with it, going all the way inside, potentially all the way into the site to plant here. Like I said, he has basically infinite time to play this out. This is absolutely something he can do. Did make noise there, but I'm pretty sure Fugly was still too far away to be able to hear that. So Fugly's going to go unnoticed. Good news is that Fugly's like right next to the bomb train, so it's going to be immediately apparent to him that this has gone over towards B. And yeah, there's that quick rotate over towards Z. Other issue for him, though, is that Shroud now had all this time to get into a position, and he absolutely heard Fugly moving into this site. So he's going to wrap around them, try to take the duel, but Fugly wins it again! And it's another 1v1. This time it's a 1v2 for NRG, as Fugly clutches it out against nothing in Shroud.
That is such a difficult clutch to win. Like, so difficult. Wow. What is going on, man?
I don't know. Fugly not only gets the early read that has gone to the other site, but rotates into it and even checks his flank when Shroud tries to outwit him there. So beautiful stuff from him. It's yet another 1v1 picked up by NRG. And just nothing can be picked up by C9, it seems. Once again, forcing the issue, and this time it's a straight-up rush to the outlander site. Breeze already knocking out Automatic while mid-air. taking him down here. Stewie, the others trying to move back in, but Little Man's still alive. He picks up one more against Stewie before he goes down to nothing, and now Breeze pushing into the sandwich. He'll get 1 and 2, knocking out Shroud and Skadoodle, just nothing alive. This is another one for NRG, easily going into the bag. There's no room for nothing to maneuver. They'll pick up Fugly just by the grace of him having his knife out, but Peter finds the upshot through the train to close out the round.
That shot was insane by nothing, though. That looks so weird. Just like flicked to his head, but yeah, that was just a tilt rush.
Yeah.
It was, yeah, nothing is working. Let's just rush. And NRG played it great, and Breeze is dominating, 21 and 10.
And now NRG are just going to spend some cash in the last round. Fugly going for the auto sniper buy, full utility still for everyone, of course, as they do just cash out on the 15th round. And Cloud9 even having to downgrade some of their own players, even though they are forcing into it fully for round number 15. Tech9 for Skadoodle and Galil for Automatic. As this time, well, the direct A play didn't work, so we might as well try it towards B. I don't actually think they've attempted a straight up B play yet, and the auto sniper immediately picks up 1 kill, takes about half the HP off of Automatic too. So now they have to rotate in relatively quickly, but this is going to be good control from C9. Again, NRG's really only had that 1 player in the site for most of this half so far, and the rotates moving in kind of late is restricting them to a very small amount of real estate here, which they can actually use to retake on. Automatic hitting that shot into Little Man, but Peter trading it back and now backing out of the site. Trying to rely on a little bit of help from the Z players, but Breeze could also make some good impact here too. Dodges the flash, good timing from him, and does spot Skadoodle on the way out. I'm not sure if Skadoodle saw him or not, but he's going to back away regardless, dropping back into the site. Shroud with 1 more pickup, and Peter missing a very important shot. This should allow for, finally, Cloud9 to pick up another round for themselves, as they are going to end it 3-12 at the end of the half.
Yeah, I mean, NRG playing really good CS. Breeze, PTR doing work. I don't know what Cloud9's doing though, man. They look so bad the past couple days.
And now to talk a little bit more about some of the other games that are going on, I believe we are going to bring the analysts back in.
Oh, they decided to do something today, huh?
Whoa.
Oh, the shots are coming out.
Damn.
Just like that. That actually just happened. That's fine. Not
We
a
all
big
know
deal.
me and Blue have the way tougher jobs.
All I know is that
We proved that yesterday.
What?
when you guys came over here, I think it speaks for itself that we went over there and we just crushed it.
Yeah.
You guys came over here, look, lost,
Quality
got
draw.
replays,
It's
but we
because it was
don't.
so
Like, what's
easy.
going on?
Talking
It
about
was like-
printers, like
Yeah, it was like playing, you know, any like PlayStation game, but you just put it on the easiest mode. It's just not, it's not very fun. It's not enjoyable. It's too easy over there.
damn.
Look, regardless, this is the situation we're in. If Luminosity wins this game, Optic cannot advance to the final.
Yeah, pretty much Optic have to sit there and hope that, regardless of, well, obviously they have to win versus Complexity right now, which is, you know, proving to be a bit of a struggle. But as long as Luminosity wins, it's over and out for the Optic boys. And right now, pretty convincing case from Luminosity that they're actually going to make it. Currently up 10-3 versus Liquid on the T side of Inferno.
Okay, well, let's check out the second half of Cloud9 and NRG, and to do that, it's Blue and Dazed.
All right. Thank you.
ESL Pro League is brought to you in part by Logitech G, Pay Safeguard, Legion Lenovo, Mountain Dew League, and ESEA.
And for the last time this season, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the ESL Pro League. It is time, almost time I should say, to jump into our second half here between NRG and Cloud9. Both of these teams have now, as far as we are aware, and I'm pretty sure we have it 100% confirmed at this point, they have secured their slots for the Dallas playoffs, and we are just waiting to hear the results from some of our other matches between LG and teams aren't playing each other, but they are facing off to claim that final and 6th slot in Dallas. So yeah, going to be jumping back into the second half, where there's not a lot of hope for Cloud9. Just if you weren't with us before, just look at the scoreline, and that should pretty much explain most of it, as there's not much else to tell besides that.
Yeah, pretty, back and forth, very close rounds, but at the end of the day, NRG just seems to win all of them, and it's up 12-3. So quick ladder control, quick inner control from NRG.
NRG even moving into the backside of Voxels there too, so Peter can check out towards upper. Won't be spotting anything, however, as Cloud9 have taken up a much more passive role within that B-bomb site. I believe Stewie will sit back over there on top of the tanker train, and Scooter just kind of leaning out from Z to help out where necessary. They absolutely have to win this round, otherwise Cloud9 will be dropping this one 0-2. Now for NRG, just kind of weighting this one down, taking a much, much more passive route than Cloud9 took on their own pistol. But they had no issues at all with just rushing into the site. NRG wants to play in a much more slow-paced and somewhat more tactical manner here, as they are going to start to push down ramp, but the issue is they don't have a way to safely get past that cross out into the bomb train, so they now pull it back. They're going to go outer instead. Automatic up on top of the ticket booth, but he can't hit any of his shots. He tags one player, but it's only for like 30 HP. Nothing has some better luck, and Breeze as well struggling here. A whole flurry of kills works its way out, but it's down to a 1v2 at the end of it in the favor of Cloud9, and they will follow through, not losing any more of their players. They take down Daps, and they claim the second half pistol. Yeah,
much needed pistol round win from Cloud9 to get them back into this game. It's very winnable. CT side train can be extremely CT sided at times. NRG gonna Tech 9 armor by Eagle onto Breeze, Glock onto PTR. Whenever I play Rank S, I tell Breeze he has to deagle every time. He can't just like full save. He just can't do it.
He's crazy with the deagle.
Yeah, I tell him. I tell him you have to deagle.
So we'll see if we can get anything with it now in the second round. First target, if he gets it, would be Shroud. Playing over here and trying to peek into Ivy slowly. He does have support from Nothing if necessary too, but Nothing is primarily focused on stopping T-Con pressure. There won't really be any, at least not in the current form of the setup from NRG though, as they have split 3-2 with 3 leading up to box halls and ladder, and just the 2 playing towards Ivy. Not catching anything in these first, 30 seconds or so. So, for NRG, pushing their players forward, starting to investigate a little bit more further, and setting up into more of a default now, but that's going to shift pretty quickly into just a direct B play. Looks like they are going to try for an inner hit. This kind of failed last time, though. They had one smoke and they used it to toss back out further into the sidewalk, but then they didn't have anything to get them through the cross over to the bomb train. And they may run into a similar issue here, as they once again are down to only one smoke. PTR inside of the one that the CT just tossed back out at them on a ramp, and they're going to throw that smoke in the same position they did on the pistol round, just down sidewalk. And they won't have that safety to cross back over. Stewie, or Skedoodle, excuse me, already tagging one player, and Stewie is up close, ready to take these duels. Smokes off the cross, going to give them very little vision. Automatic now in this fight too. Yeah, NRG not really getting a whole lot out of this. They may be able to sneak in a plant now. They have successfully taken down Stewie, but getting anything beyond that's going to be a little bit rough here. Little man picking up 1 kill into Automatic, but down to 9 HP. They can just double push him, end the round, and Cloud9 will go up to 5.
Yeah, NRG able to get 2 kills on a bomb plant though, so not a complete failure on that round. Just looking for a 1D get Ivy, then grouping up towards inner. But Stewie saving his Molotov is like huge there. He just saves it and delays them all so that he can get that upper kill and then look towards lower ramp afterwards.
Yeah, that's going to put NRG into a pretty full save now. A few upgraded pistols, but that's going to be it, as they do look forward to the first gun round coming up after this one, where they can hopefully get their advantage back and try to crush against Cloud9 to close out here and take a nice 2-0 victory. Get them on a high note to end the season. Very similar sort of passive setup early on from them. Not going to be trying to take early control of any parts of the map. And Cloud9, though, doing a little bit of investigating. Stewie just kind of leaning in towards ramp, but this is something he normally does, so it's not going to be too far out of the ordinary to expect him to check into that. Only does it once, and now already back. I believe trying to go kind of back and forth between the Spindle's position and checking into that ramp area. Other than that, no one else on the CT side doing anything hyper-aggressive here. As NRG still kind of setting themselves up, and very similarly to what Cloud9 were doing back on the first half, just kind of running the timer down before they execute somewhere probably between the 40 and 50-second mark. Pressure is actually a possibility here from Daps too, as he has kind of weaned himself out there. No one from Cloud9 is paying too close attention to it. Skadoodle obviously watching it, and I think Stewie just finally spotted him when he went for a bit of a check on it. He's been very, very mobile within that B site. So he'll promptly just kind of fall back and regroup with the rest of the team. As now they're finally starting to move themselves out onto the site, but not looking too good at the start. Breeze with that trade does give them a little bit of real estate to work with. However, Breeze pushing forward on that one, and Peter trying to do his best with the Glock in hand, but can't get it done. And nicely played by Shroud at the end there, holding in a close situation with his Tech 9. Picks up Breeze and Little Man at the end of it. Ends up with a nice 4K on the round. So first full investment for NRG, going to work its way out. 4 AKs in the op for PTR. And full utility for mostly everyone on NRG as well. Obviously, PTR with the bigger gun investment is going to be a little bit lower off, but still has, you know, smoke and a flashbang, so the basics to set up whatever take they want to work towards here. Cloud9 very similar setup too, but a lot more aggressive with Stewie pushing into the box halls and holding behind it. He's going to try to challenge any of that early box halls pressure that NRG may push for. And leading that is the Opper right now, Peter, but he's much more focused on players pushing into him, not necessarily looking for others that would have taken up a position and are now kind of holding it. He's definitely looking for someone behind these boxes. But the real big question is he going to spot Stewie? Stewie definitely hears these scope ins. Oh, great flash as well, and Stewie just rolls right out. Destroys Fugly. The nade is going to kill Peter too. And there you go, already a 5v3 with a flawless execution upon that aggression on the CTs. And so now the fledgling forces of NRG have to try and make the best of this one. What's even worse is that one of their own players is split up from them. And the time with it getting lower here, they're not going to have all the luxury in the world to just put everyone together and try to regroup them for some sort of a push. They will do that, though, it appears. Just sending everyone back down, and they'll probably try to brute force it out through T-Con more than likely. A few more just kind of sticking themselves up on top in the halls right now, but Little Man decides to go over towards ladder. They've got a dedicated player watching for ladder pressure, but he's currently up against the ladder itself right now, so he's not going to be in the best position. Even backing up, doesn't get himself ready in time, so Little Man drops in, gets that kill and nothing. They did lose one of their own in the process, though, so now it's down to a 2v4, and like I said before, they really just don't have any capability to get into this site in time, so it's looking like they're going to fall back and try to save at the end of the round. And Skadoodle's able to push Little Man into the open there with the pressure they had in the halls itself. So only the bomb carrier, Daps, manages to survive at the end of it. And Cloud9 do pick up the first gun round, getting them onto a little bit of a streak. Still 5 rounds behind NRG, but at the very least, they don't immediately fall dead on the ground at the beginning of this half and give them a massive scoreline to win this second map off of.
That just, I mean, great timing by Stewie. He just waited for the absolute perfect second for him to get that pop flash and peek. Tops off with a nice nade. Just 3v5 on CT train. Especially with pretty little time left as well for the T's.
So now NRG on this half-buy round, they are already taking very aggressive box house control, and yeah, they're going to follow it up too, but the timing on that did not work out great. Smoke was nowhere close to blooming out for them, and they just end up taking a whole lot of unnecessary damage as a result of that one. So they'll cancel that push, fall back, now with Little Man losing about 85 of his health, and Fugly losing just under 2/3 of it. And slowly looking for picks. Cloud9 are playing so passively, though, with rare exceptions to that, that are always so well concealed that they never actually realize it. They just can't seem to get that early advantage that they crave so much. and then they can follow through with it onto the site. You know, PTR missing the advantage there. He does correct it though, and pushing back out into the sandwich. Gets the kill onto Skadoodle, looking for more. He is going to have trouble finding it as most of Cloud9 are focused on the backside. Now is when they move into Crush. This PTR still picks up his second kill against nothing. Him and Little Man trying to push forward with Little Man already so low from that earlier ramp play earlier. It's on to PTR. Finds himself one more leg shot against Automatic, but doesn't get the kill. And now Automatic strikes back, closes out the round, and puts Cloud9 up to 8.
Yeah, and buying just enough to, you know, still be able to full buy this round is what NRG did. But Cloud9 looking really good on the CG side so far. They got a double op setup now onto Stewie and Skadoodle. Everybody with full nade utility, good amount of money. They're in good shape.
Relatively good shape to be able to maybe make this comeback and let's bring it to 1-1 for the evening. But again, slow from NRG. All their players just stacking up on the halls once again, not trying to move in to take any aggressive control of anything. And Cloud9 just relaxing back over in the A site for the most part with a 3-man stacker on Bomb Train. One more a little bit further over towards Ivy, and that's going to be Shroud, I think, watching out for the pressure there. Other than that, we do still have Stewie as the dedicated player to watch towards inner plays, but he's armed with an op now as they've upgraded to that too. So he has that extra firepower to play with in the event that NRG do follow through into the White Halls and try to push back out, which they may do now they got down ramp so clean. Stewie's not playing like that up-close position with the ump anymore, and he misses the first cross. He almost misses the second one too, but Fugly kind of delays it, so we should know that he's hiding around there somewhere. And he's just looking for the opportunity when he jumps across the wall, but he unscopes when he actually does it. So Stewie getting unlucky twice there, and he's got to be careful now of Daps. He's kind of haphazardly moving up, not paying attention to that, but Automatic just, well, completely kills that fear as he pushes through on this little middle lane here and takes him right out of the picture. More moving back in, but still, it's all C9 so far on all of these CT gun rounds. Not even giving NRG really a chance to clutch that one back out. They have one flank coming in from a Z player, but that gets destroyed pretty quickly, and everyone else, well, Peter with a nice dip and flick, takes out nothing, but he's going to get mollied out, and now he really doesn't have any chance left in this one, so he's falling back to save.
I mean, good positions pushed up at inner, but just no kills. Is that going to be a pause?
I believe this is a pause, yes.
Yeah, but no kills going NRG's way. I mean, so far, barely any kills, even on their T-half alone. Just getting crushed right now.
Yeah, I mean, it's Cloud9 aren't really breaking a sweat, but we do have an update this time from the analysts, so let's throw it over to them to figure out what's going on with some of our other games.
Okay, so what has happened is that it would appear Optic was able to pick up a win there on Complexity on the second map. 16-7 going in the favor of Optic over on Train.
And with that win, that does mean that Optic have done everything they can to stay in playoff contention, but they do still have to await the result of Luminosity Team Liquid. Luminosity, as we mentioned, up 10-1 early on, but right now, Team Liquid mounting a bit of a comeback, and current score finds itself at 11-9 in favor of Luminosity.
Yeah, definitely an interesting thing going on over here on the Luminosity Liquid side of things. But we're going to throw it back into the game right now. It's time for NRG and Cloud9.
Thanks very much, gentlemen. We are getting ready now to jump back into this match as it has been unpaused, and we're into the next gun round. Still full buys for Cloud9 and the double op setup, more importantly, and the same thing for NRG as they now get Peter, even with the op back in his hands after that full loss there. He saves it for the last round, and the other four just rebuy AKs as they are now going to be a little bit more limited with their utility, but still get the basics of a good setup here. And already a little bit of a duel happening over towards Ivy, but it doesn't lead to too much. Just a few players whipping bullets at each other and nothing actually connecting. But with a smoke going its way over towards Z, this is going to let the T-Con players start to push their way back in. Ivy's got to wait a few more minutes, and Daps has already been taken out. Nothing finding Fugly. Again, just an absolute shutdown from Cloud9. Shroud apparently killing himself inside of a Molotov there, which is obviously unexpected. But for Breeze and Peter, both separated, both just trying to make the best of a pretty bad situation here as they do push their way back in. And Peter already losing his teammate now, so he'll be alone. He knows nothing's over by this Train somewhere. With that shot, he gives himself away and allows Automatic to line up the killing blow.
Yeah, NRG just trying to scrim, going fast outer with one Ivy, completely shut down once again by Cloud9. And correct me if I'm wrong, Luminosity beat Liquid, they're through.
I believe so, yeah.
They lose, Optic's through, since Optic won their game.
Yeah. That would be the case.
Just turn over to that game.
Yeah. I think we have everything prepped for this game right now, though, so. You can apparently watch it. There's an alternate stream for it over at youtube.com/ESLCS. Where you should be watching this from right now.
Full eco from NRG except for pistol armor, a few smokes. Maybe like bomb train smokes or something.
Overall, though, everything that NRG's been trying has just been failing miserably, especially in gun rounds, and I highly doubt that a half-buy round is going to go much better for them. However, Cloud9 getting a little bit aggressive now, so this could be the start of a domino chain, but apparently not. Shroud pretty easily takes down Little Man. There's not really much of a support system set up to try and trade it back. And everyone else with the team is going to try to do just a 3-1 push in through T-Con, and one working its way out through ladder. Yeah, Automatic just picking him off, nothing. And Automatic again, all finding kills. Fugly just stuck in ladder room now. It's going to be an 11th for C9. They'll be one away from tying this now.
Yeah, botch smoke just makes that round so easy for C9. How many kills does NRG have on their T-half so far? I swear it can't be more than like...
It's not many.
6, 7.
There's a way for us to see this. We'll do it after the round, I think, though. Well, actually, no, we can do it now, because Fugly's just probably going to die in a second anyway. Yeah, he goes down. So
see how many kills they have total. If you mouse over the rounds.
Yeah, if we mouse over the rounds, we should be able to see how many. Or not.
Thanks, observers.
We need the mouse over. We don't count how many kills they've gotten. All right, 3, 2, 1, 1, 2,
1, 1, 0.
So they're getting like, on average, 1 or 2 kills per gun run at most.
Yeah.
Which is not very good.
No, it's just a slaughter.
Yeah, Cloud9 definitely looking like they may be able to make this comeback and push it pretty cleanly up to 16, possibly. So we will see. Does NRG have another chance to swing it back around now as they have AKs and the op back into Peter's hands? But still not really trying anything different here. This is more than likely going to end up in another straightforward execute. Already kind of pulling the players back, and it's just going to be like a 1-2-2, which Cloud9 has been able to dispatch of these default hits with no problems at all numerous times. So unless they have something special planned for their utility, in the way that they would set up their smokes, Cloud9 are certainly looking to be the favorites to crunch this round and actually succeed in tying this up. But with time starting to go below the 1-minute mark, NRG now trying to push their way in a little bit. Mollies from the CTs holding them off for those few extra crucial seconds, however. And Breeze first up to bat, but doesn't want to seem to take the initiation here. The flash goes in. Once again, the first kill goes by the way of Automatic, but a trade goes in for Breezy. He's going to be able to get a second one too. Fugly also picks up a kill for himself, and now Daps eliminates Stewie on the rotate, just down to Skadoodle now, but he gets 2 kills so quickly. Swinging in, goes for that third one, but Daps finally shutting him down, gives NRG one more round just when they were about to lose their lead.
Yeah, Ska's 2 kills though are pretty big. I mean, they have a ton of money, Cloud9. Like, they're going to be able to buy 3-4 rounds in a row really easily. So
and these are the second half stats actually for both teams so far. So each player has gotten, you know, about 3 to 4 kills at most, about 3.25 I think will be the average, right around there. So not looking too good right now for NRG, but at the very least with that last round, it probably has boosted things up a little bit for the team, and now they're going to be back on the grind here. But for Cloud9, well, they still have a boatload of cash to burn through. But starting off here in the 10th round, Fugly immediately moves in and takes down Stewie. He went back to his old aggressive habits over there on ramp and unfortunately paid the price for it. Going to be looking at Shroud trying to push his way out through Z2, but there's a 2-man stack here and they immediately take him out. Cloud9, like we said before, or like I said before, they changed up their game style here. It went from a super passive CT setup to now trying to get a little bit more aggressive. And it's bitten back pretty badly against their own favor. And now they're down 5v3. Just about 40 seconds into the round. Still have to see NRG actually start their hit though, as they found these kills basically by Cloud9 pushing way too aggressively into where they have no business doing so. But Automatic has now, well, he had, I should say, a chance to turn it around. Little Man immediately impacts. Breeze follows through, taking out nothing, and then Skadoodle falls as well. Basically zero room for a response on anyone from C9 there at NRG. Well, they're back into having control of this matchup. Now just 2 rounds away from claiming the map.
yeah, and this is going to be the last really like perfect buy round from C9. wins this one should be... Well, I actually, NRG could probably buy again after this. Actually, just because they won the last round pretty clean. They won their money.
And NRG is back to just the old split, which has not been working out for them, like I said, because Cloud9 got way more aggressive. They kind of threw a few of those rounds away as a result of that. But I think they go back into the more passive style now. Just the 4-man stack out on A, keeping Stewie alone to defend B. And he's going to be waiting a little bit closer up this time, but definitely not going for the full-on check on the ramp like he did before. Great timing on the nade too. I believe that came from him. Knocks Breezy almost to max damage with armor. 61 HP. They'll now have after getting hit by that, and they already have devoted a second player over here to the inner bomb site as well. So here comes NRG. It looks like they are going to try to go for a pretty fast execute out here onto B, but Automatic wants to challenge it up close. Skadoodle catches the one player that's trying to pinch into A at the same time, but Stewie basically just trying to outrun these players. They move their way in. Rotates are coming in so quickly, though. Little Man hoping to keep the dream alive as he pushes forward, and with Peter picking up that kill, we're back to an even matchup. Now a 2v2. Bomb down on the side. There's going to be a bit of an awkward shuffle to try to get it on the ground, and Skadoodle comes out on top of it as he finds Peter. Little Man unable to get the trade. Tagged a little bit, but only for 9 HP, while trying to cross back into a better position, but he needs to check uppers in a second. Skadoodle's going to spot him, and Little Man hunting for the head with the smoke, obscuring vision. He's now going to go behind cover. This isn't a safe duel for him anymore. He didn't get the bomb either, so now he finds himself in the open. Shroud shuts down Little Man, and Cloud9 back up to winning here, 14-12.
Little Man had that. What's going on with him there?
Just couldn't find Skadoodle with the smoke there. For whatever reason.
Just panicked. Panicked, blue.
Well, that panic is potentially going to cost them their economy in a moment here. As they do full buy into this one, what's their money looking like overall? Yeah, they're pretty much broke after that buy. So more than likely going to end up in the full save situation after this if they do drop it, and that will, unless they pull off a miracle round there, allow for Cloud9 to tie it up 14-14 and bring us into that very close match. But split up early on again. NRG still fans of playing into this default here. Could lead itself into a much more straightforward execute. Problem is, though, is there's a lot of aggression from C9, so immediately Breezy could find himself dead on the ground, depending on if he goes with the team and moves in, or if he waits out that extra 5 seconds or so to see if they're going to push themselves out, as there is still, I believe it's Shroud and Skadoodle playing together over towards Ivy, ready to push in if they need to try and crunch on some of these C-Ivy players. But now, right now, they're actually not using a whole lot of utility to get out into the site since they got out T-Con for free. There's no one watching this because of the aggression of Ivy. And now, Little Man going to walk right up into Sandwich, gets that first kill. Skadoodle there for a trade. Shroud's going to get tagged by PTR a little bit further back with the op, and he even picks up the kill into Skadoodle as well now. Shroud spraying into it, does massive damage to Breeze, but doesn't get the kill. He's still alive with 15 HP. Automatic has better luck, and Breeze now moves in for revenge. Takes down Shroud. Automatic on the bomb train, gets one more for himself. That's going to lead to Daps going down. Breeze tries to flag, but Stewie says hello. Peeks into that one, and now it's up to PTR, but he's picked up one more. Down to a 1v1, almost limited by the nade, but goes for this duel. However, his gun's not fully out when he takes the battle, so Stewie wins it. And now we indeed do it at 14-13 with NRG basically fully broken.
Yeah, I think that was like the round where whoever won that was probably going to win the game. For NRG's sake, though, they can actually, save and maybe get a full gun round. But, I mean, even a lot of the ways Cloud9 was losing those gun rounds later on in this half, I don't think they were playing it terribly or anything like that. So, it surprised me if they don't close this one out.
Yeah, NRG looks like they're probably just going to rush into the B site this time.
Just try to get bombed down at upper.
Yep. Pushing in pretty quickly. Molly restricting them. They've already lost one. Trying to get back, though. Peter finding a nice shot there. They're probably getting the bomb down now because of that one. Still going to lose the round overall, but the bomb 100% on the ground. And with that said, they've accomplished their goal. They really don't care about the rest of it.
Yeah. 4 players running through a Molotov. Somehow able to kill Stewie there. I'm surprised. I thought he was just going to have a crisp, clean 4K.
But it's Skadoodle that ends up with that. So we'll pick up a nice extra bit of a paycheck there going into the next round. And so full investment working its way in, where NRG now have to do or die to be able to hold on to this lead and potentially still close out in regulation. Otherwise, we could be looking at overtime or just an outright closeout for one of these two teams at 16-14. Obviously straying away from the rush plays this time now that they do have some real guns in their hands. NRG, while they are going to throw a lot of smokes towards outer early on, there's some aggression from Automatic, which may have allowed him to hear all of these players from NRG pushing their way back in. In fact, they've already committed Skadoodle, the second player over here towards inner. They've got 2 more right outside of the ladder room that are able to push back up. But an upper play is going to come back in, eliminate Skadoodle. Now Stewie's in an awkward spot, already losing half of his HP, getting dinked through the train, trying his best to hold on to it, but he's completely surrounded. So obviously going to be very confused in that scenario. Not much that he could do anyway. Fugly takes him out. That's full control for these guys. Cloud9 honestly may just call this off and save. We'll see how the flank does this. This will more than likely determine it, but Automatic has already been hit down to 15 HP too. I think he ended up in a little bit of a battle here a few seconds ago. Little man, great spot up on top. Won't see the second player coming and even waits for him to turn around before he fires off. That's a little bit risky there, but it does pay off for nothing. Unfortunately, flashes himself on the way down the ramp. And now both him and Shroud are going to back up to save these guns for what could be the final round.
That's NRG at least forcing overtime. They just kind of throw a smoke down lower, and 3 guys just run out upper. Completely surprising. I believe it was Stewie there at like first contact. Just not ready for it at all. 3 guys get a direct gun battle versus 1. Best you could ever hope for is the CTs to get 1 there. And NRG, game point. The C9 does have an op on Ska though. Let's see how good their buy is.
It's actually not too bad.
Oh yeah, so it's
with those saves, it's really good actually.
Yeah.
In some ways, that's better than what NRG has. I think NRG got slightly more utility, and with that I mean like 1 or 2 extra nades, but NRG does not have the op anymore, and Daps have to downgrade to a UMP. So, once again, very slow on the opener from this T side, splitting their players up. 2 guys, as usual, taking box halls control, but the other 3 are hanging out right outside of T connector. Cloud9 is going to fully commit a second player into the B site early on this time instead of leaving Stewie to his own devices. Skadoodle will be here able to assist with the op if it does end up being another inner hit, and that's looking like a strong possibility, as we do have all 5 players from NRG pushing over to that side of the map now, getting ready to execute inside with 4 Molotovs and I believe still 5 smokes between all of them. So plenty of utility to take easy control out here if they do it properly. The thing is, though, is Cloud9 will probably have an itchy trigger finger on the rotate, so after they do throw out these smokes, they need to be ready to move in ASAP and take as much control as possible, and preferably take out Stewie and Skadoodle without losing a massive amount of players. Stewie is going to take a risk this time too, and being this close up, he found himself in this similar position in the last round and got completely overwhelmed because of how quickly Skadoodle got knocked out of the round. So he may find himself in a very similar position this time as he is trying to look for the first kill. No one checking onto that bomb train though, so he lines up 2 to start it off. Skadoodle and Stewie moving back in for 4 kills. Already 4 dead on the ground. Just up to Peter. It's going to be tied 15-15, and we will end up in overtime.
Yeah, and one of the things, if you ever watch Stewie, is whenever he plays inside, he saves his molly. And whenever you execute, he just mollies Pop Dog. And he's so good after he does that. Like, he knows if you're, obviously, he knows time-wise if you're pushing through the molly. And then he knows he just has to watch on top of the train or Pop Dog push.
All right, well, let's get the analysts back into the conversation now, as I believe they have a little bit of update on us from one of the other matches.
Yeah, so, well, again, no decided winner yet in that Liquid Luminosity game. They're still duking it out. Currently, it's sitting at 15-12 in favor of Liquid, so they're right on the cusp there. And with a win right there, that would mean that Luminosity's hopes of getting through to Dallas would end.
Yeah, and I actually do believe the match did just end, right?
No,
as 15, I was told, 16-12 is the actual final score.
Wow.
It happened as you were saying it, therefore you can't.
Yeah, because when we started the segment, I got the update of 15-12. So that's been going rapidly approaching. And yeah, that does mean that Luminosity, sadly, not going to be going to Dallas this year.
Yeah, but a really hard-fought season here by Luminosity. You know, they
Definitely.
came in and no one expected them to do the amount of work that they have. Now, if we switch over and look at this game that's going in overtime right now, if we talk about Cloud9 and NRG, like Cloud9 skating by on the seat of their pants right now. Either way, let's get right back into that overtime matchup. Blue and Days, take it away.
All right, thank you very much, gentlemen. And indeed, we are still getting prepped to jump into overtime here now. We're just waiting for a few of the players to ready up, and we will be able to jump into it. But indeed, 15-15 teams is trying to solidify the records at this point, as I do believe we now have the final 6. Taking a look at some of the stats from regulation time here. Breeze, to no one's surprise, really leading the charge for NRG at 29 and 24 with 91 ADR, almost 92 there. Meanwhile, on the Cloud9 side, It's Automatic that shows up in this match with 96, and Nothing as well, having himself quite a good game. Still lagging behind a little bit there at 71, but sometimes that does end up happening on the Cloud9 roster.
So do we know? Oh, okay.
Yeah, we have the
confirmed. So we have it.
Yep, this is just for overall results and seedings now, because there is the prize pool for playoffs. So what actually no, I think the top 6 teams don't get like a season prize pool. They just get whatever they get at the LAN. So it doesn't actually matter for the prize pool. It just matters for seedings at the LAN.
So SK Immortals, the 2 Brazilian team, well, 2 of the 3 Brazilian teams, taking 1st and 2nd. Liquid NRG, Cloud9, and Optic.
Yeah, I think that top 6 is pretty much what, like, the exception of, like, maybe, like, no one really, I don't think at the beginning of the season anyone would have called CLG being close to contending for it, so this is...
We did a video about it.
Yeah,
we predicted. Wonder if we could...
We'd dig that one up from the archives.
My sleeper team was actually Luminosity.
Was it?
Yeah. Because there's, like, that one sleeper team, whether you pick, like, Luminosity, Misfits, NRG, right? NRG was kind of a sleeper team. Wasn't like guaranteed they were going to make playoffs or anything.
Well, yeah, because the roster had to completely reform for this season, so and they've done pretty well. Like I think I talked about this a day or two ago too. The real test is going to be seeing how it translates to LAN, as they already went and played at one LAN and it did not go so well. So now they're going to have to go up not only against these other teams in NA, but in a LAN environment, and they'll also be jousting against some of Europe's best teams too. So that's going to be a lot more pressure on this roster to see how they do in a big environment there. So still waiting on the ready-ups as far as I'm aware. And let me get, hey, there we go. Just went monochrome, so we are getting live with the match now, and we can jump back into it, folks. 15-15 seedings potentially on the line for both of these teams, so still want to be able to claim that one and get yourself a little bit higher up in the ratings, and we do go into it. MR3, 10K start money is going to be the format for overtime, so let's jump into it and see. As Automatic, interestingly, instead of fully investing into an M4 or something like that, is just going to go for a Mag 7 in the first round of OT, and well, pretty predictably, we'll go directly up to the ramp. Let's see if he can get the kill. Just ragdolls Daps, and now he's got an AK and says goodbye to these box halls.
Correct.
Just nice cheeky little strat there. Saves him money, gets a 5v4 advantage with it, and now a free gun upgrade. That's going to leave NRG obviously a little bit stunned for a few seconds as they try to figure out just what exactly happened with that play. And their players are pretty much just going to form up over towards Ivy this time. Breeze, Peter, the bomb carrier working its way over there too. Fugly's going to be grouping up with them. Obviously still just running the timer down a little bit and waiting for these smokes to fade out. But other than that, now we're going to be a little bit more stunted in. Cloud9 just have the full 4-man commitment out over here towards the site. So this should be relatively easy to defend for C9, assuming they don't get tripped up on the entries here. Great flashbang as well is going to cause them to delay for a couple more seconds. They got to reapply that smoke on the left side. Still molly down on the right side. Little man still on his lonesome over there at T-Con too. So in they'll go. They do get a good pop flash, but Skoogle's given time to recover for it, and now Shroud can peek back in. They do have Stewie helping out with taking out Little Man too. Peter with a dirty shot, but Stewie jumps in with just as nice of one to close out on the round and give Cloud9 16 to start off an OT.
Yeah, I mean, this Cloud9 CT side, they make it 4v5 right off the bat from Automatic. From there, just really solid crossfires. Really difficult for NRG to really make anything happen with the setup that Cloud9 was working with. See if they keep going aggro at the start. I mean, so we need to see. I thought we were going to see Skadoodle play more aggro.
Yeah.
What's going on?
I don't know.
Have him push Ivy. Do something. Just plays Rotator every round, generally. I mean, remember against Liquid, he played Sandwich. Yeah, he missed, and then they lost that round. But I mean, why not put him in Sandwich sometimes? I mean, maybe you'll beat NRG doing this, but you just want him to get used to it. Just to beat better teams, you need him to play more aggro.
Yeah. And so Cloud9 once again just waiting things out, as has been their style for most of the CT side so far. not really pressuring anyone out to take anything, and when they have gotten aggressive, it has primarily been over towards the ramp push up there, like we saw back over with Automatic. But now NRG getting ready to go in for their own execute here, dropping down. They're trying to push themselves out into the open. Nothing picking up the first kill. A trade will roll in from Fugly. And Automatic trying to push himself up to Breezy, getting that kill onto Automatic. It opens up another window here for NRG to push themselves forward, getting that control. They will do a boost up with Stewie on top of Ticket. That's going to be read really easily, though, by Breeze. So he finds that kill. Shroud, Skadoodle, and Shroud again striking back a little bit here. It's brought down to a 1v1. NRG's got a great track record with these, though, regardless of the player. And this has actually been the player that's won a lot of these initial 1v1s before. Fugly, smart about this, knows exactly where Stewie is. Just going to read this one and run back away, mollying off his retreat. And will be able to cleanly get himself onto the B bomb site. Find the plant, and now has to wait out for Shroud to rotate back in. He's already got him low down to 19 HP, basically one-shottable. He just has to actually hit that shot, close out on the round, and be able to win it out to bring his team back into an even draw. But he's pushing up kind of dangerously, watching the other side. There we go, though. There's the lineup. Takes out Shroud, and it is NRG that ties it up once again.
Just every 1v1, man. It's crazy. Shroud has a sick round here, though.
Yeah, without him, that would have been way more dominant for NRG. Probably ending up just with like 3 or 4 players alive at the end of it. So he nearly saves it, but falls short right at the very end, like we have seen from many of these clutches in the past. Throughout not only this map, but over on Inferno, C9. And on the last round, well, NRG very quickly sending 3 players into the box halls again, but not having anyone else, including the bomb, in a position to follow through on that and execute down into B. Just holding both Little Man and Breeze out here, with Breeze primarily watching for Ivy aggression. Again, though, Cloud9, ever since they lost quite a few crucial rounds at the hands of aggression like that, they have not been too keen on actually pushing into that. So you're going to see them just holding in standard positions and waiting for NRG to execute, which, again, they'll do in about 15 seconds or so here. And still kind of stacking their players up. And Fugly going to be first up to bat to try and push back in. Great flashbang. Lining up exactly with the execute itself. But the bomb still way over there. So this may actually lead itself to be a hit on the A site, just with a few of these guys trying to fake towards B. Just something a little bit more complex, something we haven't necessarily seen just yet from NRGs. So this could kind of turn itself into a hit or miss play. Molly's going to stop all pressure out from ramp 2, and now they kind of have to make up for this and just go in completely towards the A site. But Cloud9 still has a big stack of players out here, ready to defend this. Flashbang again sends them back, and they're going to try to run this over into B now. Time's going to be so low by the time they get that bomb into the site, though. Stewie ready for this one over behind the bomb train. He takes down Daps. He's got plenty of time to hunt down more. Molly's going to push him out into the open, actually, so Fugly takes care of that one, and they will have just about 2 or 3 extra seconds to plant that bomb, and Fugly basically has to hold off the tide, but I think the bomb player didn't get killed. It was Breeze that got taken out. In the confusion, though, they find 2 and now 3 more kills. Just PTR left alive. He's been pushed back. He does have the molly to play towards upper, but they're already going for it. I don't even think he's going to have time to throw the molly on the ground, so yeah, Cloud9 easily get that defused and end up with the advantage coming out of halftime. Really, really weird round there from NRG to close out their T side.
Yeah, how did that even come close to working? I mean, they did get the bomb down, but like they didn't even have a lower smoke by the time they went down. Scott could have just killed them all from Z. They're very fortunate to even get the bomb down in that situation. With 18 seconds, you're bringing the bomb from T mid to inside.
They just kept getting wrecked with utility on ramp there. They got hit by like a flashbang right at the start, then they got smoked, then the molly came after that as well. So they just barely had enough time at the end of it to be able to plant that, and thankfully for them, Cloud9 weren't playing like super far up or anything, so they didn't try to deny it as much as they could have. Still closed out though. And in overtime, obviously, you're just getting the plant. Coming close on the rounds, not really going to matter, especially in the 3rd round there. So it ends up with an advantage to C9. They just need 2 out of 3 of these remaining rounds to win it out. Whereas NRG, if they want to take it, they've got to go 3 straight. They just need 2 to tie it, though, and send it into a second OT. Just like the first one, we do have to wait for the players to ready up. So as soon as they're good to go, we'll jump back into the map once again. But like I said, or like we had on the graphics before, both these teams do have their playoff slots secured now. So this is primarily just for the extra wins and potentially the seeding implications that follow that one, as we do have all 6 teams figured out for both regions here. And hey, there we go. The players have readied up. So it's time to jump back into the map and take a look at, see if Cloud9 can close out here, or if NRG is going to make a miracle CT side run. It was definitely looking good for them on the first half. Cloud9 ran it back here. And into the round we will go with Cloud9 splitting up players, sending 4 into white holes at the start, and dropping one of them down really quickly into ladder room too, not wasting any time on whoever that was that dropped down there inside. Only going to be leaving Skadoodle, I believe, perched up on top to watch for Ivy pressure. But NRG playing, it's basically like mirror matchups in terms of the opening actual strats here, but NRG just going to play 4 on the outside and only leave Fugly to defend behind the Z train as they wait to see what Cloud9 are going to do, which at the moment is still looking like an A play, but could go either way still, so we're not going to know until they actually move out to execute here in a few moments, and they're not doing anything hyper aggressive at the beginning to try and take control either. Same exact game that we saw back with back on the last half there. NRG basically really having no choice but to run the timer down until they were ready to execute. Hope that Cloud9 got over aggressive, but never really saw that. So 50 seconds remaining. Cloud9 are going to have to start to move into the open, though. Problem is a lot of the smokes are reapplied by the CT, so it's not going to be the cleanest path that they have. Into the open they will go. Breeze, nice spray transfer from Stewie. Takes out Peter, and then he follows it up with one of the Breeze. Gets aggressive, though, and moves into the open where Little Man, and now Daps gets himself a double. Takes out Shroud. Nothing followed up just a moment later, and it's on Skadoodle now. Close this out solo. He's holding and trying to get aggressive. Close up. He's only got 25 seconds too. Missing that first shot though has almost certainly sealed his fate. And indeed he will go down to Daps, allowing for NRG to tie this back up at 17-all.
Yeah, it comes a point in like they've been playing a lot of rounds now, especially in most overtime. This happens where nice spray control by Stewie transfer. Like both teams have just showed each other their entire playbook. A lot of it comes down to just like individual plays being made off tendencies and things like that. I would hit Ivy though. That was Cloud9.
Yeah, right now it's just looking like Daps is there to defend it. Everyone else on NRG.
He does have an off now though. That's a really good adjustment by him actually. Really good. Like they're never gonna expect an off there from Daps.
The good news is that they do take down Daps. The resistance from the other CTs on this outer site is not going to show itself for quite a few extra seconds because they have time to establish themselves. At the exit to the Ivy tunnel there, both, I believe it's Breeze and Little Man, are sitting up front right against the wall outside of T-Con and ladder room. And then they did a full 2-man commitment into B. So they rotate, I think it's PTR over early where it's normally just Fugly sitting in here alone, but now he's going to be playing towards upper. Cloud9, with a minute left on the clock, do start to lob in some smokes over to the A site to allow them to move into execute. And we also are going to see a bit of heavier pressure shifting over towards Ivy now. Up to 3 players to move in. One in the ladder room, it's going to be Shroud. Another one just outside of T-Con, more than likely automatic, moving in that route. And Shroud may even shift himself over towards B to make a little bit of noise before he does actually go into the site here. But we need to go for it soon. NRG still in that kind of destabilized pattern, though, relying on this sort of buddy system and Daps being all alone right outside of the Ivy position. He's going to be waiting here for it. Does hit the first shot now and tries to go for the second one. Misses it, but he's still alive. Manages to escape with 20 HP. Now the rest of the team getting ready to execute out. Automatic fails at his own entry. Breeze and Little Man, though, go down to nothing in Shroud directly after that. So it's even back out into another 3v3. And don't forget that Daps has to be very careful with his own play style. Can't go through mollies, can't get hit by HE grenades. He's incredibly low, so he's got to be very, very passive with the way he plays this out. So he's going to rely a lot on both PTR and Fugly to clutch this one back out. Well, no longer Fugly. Skadoodle hits that nice shot, leads to the elimination of him. And now PTR trying to move in, but gets blinded by the flashbang. Follow-up peek from Skadoodle, gets his second kill now in the post-plant scenario, and Daps doesn't want anything to do with this. He's going to back away, save the up for the final round. Try to keep himself alive, as Cloud9 will be going up to map point.
Yeah, and the kill that really matters there, that changes that round, is actually Shroud on Low Man. I don't know how Shroud's getting that kill onto Low Man, going down the ladder, especially when Low Man should be inside it in that scenario. That should be a free kill every single time for the CTs. But if Lil Man gets that one, I mean, that round's easy for NRG to close out.
Yeah. Well, they do have to kind of spread their guns around for the last round of the first overtime. Everybody gets guns though, so it's not too bad of a situation for these CTs where it usually can end a little bit more drastically. Won the first round, and that pretty much kills that. So everybody ends with M4s, and Peter gets himself the op. Very similar buy going on for C9, and very similar opener too to what we did see for a lot of regulation and the overtime itself. Players moving into boxels early on. They're not actually going to move in for direct control, and there's a good reason behind that too. Is back in regulation, we saw a lot of aggression from the CTs in that room, and we're seeing it once again here in the last round of OT. It's PTR sitting inside, ready to take duels versus anyone that would move into this room to challenge him. And Stewie wanting to move back out. Very easy to dodge that flash. The volley, not going to be so easy to dodge. So PTR tries to go for a deeper peek. Takes about a third of his health pools lost as a result of trying to go for that peek, but still keeps himself alive. And now right back into that corner as the Molotov was only going to last for those few seconds. Their flashbang going to hit him. Was getting ready to promptly kind of molly it back off, but instead mollies lower and focuses on the safety of the site instead of his own self-preservance. Now,
Yeah, they just knew he was there. I mean, Molotov, flashes, they use so much to clear out PTR at upper. I mean, I think that's a small victory for PTR, just utilizing a bunch of utility to push him off like that. Especially because his teammates shouldn't have been using too much utility in that situation. Because they know, like, people trying to push back enter, so why waste nades?
and now with having pushed this player out, Cloud9 are going to decide to follow through on this and execute into B. Peter's here, but he's very close up to the bomb train, which is going to be hard to actually work anything from that angle. Can only peek into that one short lane, but at the very least gets himself the opening kill. Going to look for a few more, but the volley's going to send him into the open. That's where Shroud strikes, taking out PTR. Another player to deal with on upper, but before hitting that one, Shroud at a long-range double tap takes out Little Man. Automatic, shutting out Fugly. Just Breeze, and only Breeze alone now left alive in a 1v4 scenario. He has no hope of winning this one. Already down to 2 HP, and Stewie is going to finish it off. So there you have it. 19-17 is the final scoreline, and that will conclude our final match for the regular season of Season 5 for the ESL Pro League. Cloud9 will take it, and we end up 1-1 in the night for this matchup, but both teams will be heading to Dallas for the playoffs.
Sick comeback from C9. I mean, they're down 12-3 that first half. Go on the CT side, really get on a roll, force overtime, where they lock down CT side. Or, sorry, not CT side, but, you know, get 2 rounds on T side. But yeah, good comeback by them. Looking a little bit better. If they would have lost that game, like, early like that, that would have been, like just getting slaughtered 4 games in a row.
Yeah.
So,
well, for the last time, let's bring the analysts into the conversation now and hear their wrap up on not only this map, but the season as a whole.
For the last time, and when you say it that way, it's rather saddening.
It is. It's with a gloomy attitude we go into this last post game.
Yeah, very much so. Look, I mean, going into this one, a lot to cover here in the post game, sort of post match wrap up. We do have our 6 teams from both continents that will be attending those LAN finals in Dallas.
Yeah, we've got them all, you know, decked up, ready to go. In Europe, obviously, we had those teams ready before we got into the debacle that was NA today. Obviously, North coming out early on as the #1 seed and, well, doing pretty well for themselves. As you can see, they're going to secure that first seed into Dallas from the European side of things, followed by G2 Esports, who, you know, more or less started from the bottom, and now they're here in Dallas, or will be here in Dallas in a few weeks. Mousesports following them, and then Fnatic making a bit of a climb towards the last couple of weeks, making it to 4th place, followed by Team Envious, to many surprise, and then Na'Vi, the troubled squad, still managing to squeak in there.
I mean, you could also say, okay, well, there's Virtus Pro sitting at 9-17 on the entire season.
They've been in this situation before too.
Yeah.
Okay, so some teams are experts at making it to playoffs. Virtus Pro becoming experts at making it to relegation.
So let's just recap that real quick. Over on the European side of things, we've got North. We've got G2.
Got Mousesports.
Mousesports, Fnatic, Na'Vi, and Envious.
Yeah.
Making it to the LAN finals in Dallas.
And not a bad list of teams. And then you just think of the teams that missed out on the last day, no less. FaZe, Astralis, and obviously, as you mentioned, I guess, well, in fairness, VP kind of lost playoff contention a while ago, but, you know, still massive team that's not going to be there. So extremely, you know, hotly contested spots over there in Europe.
Oh, definitely definitely something to look at here as we load up this G2 replay right there for you guys at home. G2 coming in as sort of the super team, having a tough first start to the season.
Yeah. And
then now, hey, they're going to land.
It's a rags to riches story in many ways. Weirdly enough, though, obviously, because we knew what kind of potential they were going into. But they started off the season 1-8, and now they ended it at 16-10. So just a miraculous run, really. Unmatched by anyone, you know, across both continents from what we saw from them. And, well, you know, looking at Kenny acing FaZe in this round, they don't seem to be stopping. And if we, you know, turn back the time a little bit, where we saw G2 last find a lot of success offline, that started, you know, part of that was the Pro League finals, where they had that insane finals versus the Brazilians.
Well, it wouldn't be a final without Brazilians, right?
I think that is true.
I think that's how it works.
It's becoming a trend, right?
It's becoming a trend. It has been a trend. But when we do look at these teams coming from the European region, is it any shock with any of these teams that are actually qualified?
Envious.
By far.
Envious. It has to be said. Honestly, it's a bit of a shocker that Na'Vi made it as well. And that's obviously not because of the quality of their players, but because of the quality of their play. It's been rather poor as of late. So to see Astralis and FaZe not being able to make it, and see Na'Vi and Envious make it through instead, bit of a surprise. I would call Mouse Sports a surprise as well, but they've been up, you know, at the top of the season since the get-go. So you can't really be surprised by the fact that, I guess, yeah, you can be surprised by the fact that they've maintained that kind of a form, but they've been around the entire season at least.
Well, we're going to pull up this Na'Vi replay right here in front of you. Now, Na'Vi, no strangers to success. These guys obviously have put together a very talented squad.
Oh, yeah.
And it should be no surprise. And they should be in the finals, so
yeah,
they are.
Yeah, exactly. Like, the talent on this lineup should be, you know, in top fours at every single tournament. But obviously, you know, we don't play CS on paper, as we like to say. And Na'Vi really had to work for this as well. They went into, you know, in this game versus Heroic, went into triple overtime before they were able to actually close it out. And at one point, they were down, I think it was 18-15. Without, you know, Heroic being able to close it out. That said, Na'Vi did have a 15-11 lead leading up to this in regular time, but, you know, Heroic managed to scratch back. But, yeah, Na'Vi, not everything is correct, really. You know, not everything is functioning as it should be within that team as of right now. So, in many ways, Dallas could be a redemption time for, you know, this CS squad.
Certainly. Now, that pretty much concludes our side, I think, of the European things.
Yeah.
And it's really no secret there that these guys deserve to be there. And more so, like we said, Astralis not going, and FaZe not going to the finals. Very much,
the two
I don't know, it's kind of a shocker.
Yeah, no, it's remarkable, actually, especially when you consider how it happened as well. One of the reasons why Envious are in the top 6 right now is because they managed to beat Astralis in 2 maps on the very last day, like earlier today. So, obviously, nobody saw that coming. You would expect Astralis to at least get 1 map. They were up 11-4 on the last map as well. So, yeah, at this point, you know, kudos to Envious for being able to take advantage of the situation, but very, very surprising that you don't see Astralis close out a game like that.
Let's switch over the focus now to the North American side of things. I do believe we can load up the standings in North America so that we can kind of convey the message that is, here are the teams going to the finals,
yeah.
right? So looking at this, the top 6, SK, Liquid, Immortals, NRG, Cloud9, and Optic, those are your teams going to Dallas to compete in the LAN finals at the Verizon Theater. Now, what else do you see going on here, Vendetta?
I mean, honestly, when you asked us pretty much the first week I came here what teams I expected to see here, I had 5 out of these teams, and the 6th one was my dark horse, and that was NRG.
Was it the Foundation? Wasn't the Foundation?
No, it wasn't the Foundation. I was, you know, thinking about it for a long time. You know, you could see it was definitely worthwhile. That 3-23 record reflecting, you know, excellent play over the course of the season. No, but that was obviously, you know, it panned out in many ways as we expected it.
So let's kind of break this down as the ball lies. Let's talk about SK Gaming first. These guys, world champions, coming hot off of a Sydney victory, and going into this LAN finals. No surprise here.
Yeah, no surprise at all. First team to you know, solidify their spot from the NA region, and they do it off the back of, you know, having a bit of a resurgence in form. We're seeing Fallen play better and better after having a very slow start to 2017, and the team just seems to be playing better and better with Phelps in that lineup ever since that lineup change. So coming off 2 LAN wins at Summit and Sydney, you're expecting them to do really, really well in Dallas.
No, absolutely. I think they're most certainly a contender for a top spot at that LAN. I don't think that we're going to see a Cloud9 go through and have the same, I don't want to call it a miracle run because they did earn that spot there 25-1 by far, but they certainly haven't had that huge of an impact since.
Yeah, that is very accurate. And honestly, I guess you can't count them out. You know, never say never and all that, and hope never dies. But we can't see the same kind of Cloud9 as we saw them ending the Pro League season coming to Dallas. We're not going to see a return of the Season 4 champions in that sense.
Never say never, hope never dies.
Yeah.
Is that yours? You just coined that?
I mean, yeah, no, it's you know, the title of my memoirs.
Huh. Well, let's talk about Team Liquid right now. How about that? We're going to talk about Team Liquid coming off of, I think that they split maps with Luminosity.
Yeah.
So with that being said, Liquid going to LAN, I think they'd actually secured their spot last night.
Yeah, they
but
did.
how will this team do at this LAN? I mean, this is a team that we saw with a roster change. They bring in a new in-game leader, and they're very much on the up and up right now. They bodied Cloud9 last night.
Yeah, very much so.
Is this a team that we can see have a little bit of success in Dallas?
I think so. I like to think so. They've been playing better and better ever since they got their Final 5 together. We did see glimpses of it at the Summit. We saw glimpses of it at Austin. And yesterday, we definitely saw what potentially could be for that team when everything is firing off of all cylinders. But we do see that there's still some work to be done. They did obviously get down into, you know, a 10-1 deficit versus Luminosity on Inferno earlier today, or, you know, just now. So they can't allow themselves to do that versus teams who are, you know, better than Luminosity, because they're not going to be able to dig back from that kind of a ditch. So yeah, no, overall though, very positive impression of Liquid going into the playoff finals, because they're just getting gradually better on every map.
Absolutely. Let's bring it now down. We've just watched C9 and NRG, where Cloud9 just a rough start. And honestly, it's kind of a miracle that Cloud9, Counter-Strike, Cloud9 CSGO has made it to the LAN finals itself. They have lost the last 4 maps, and they're going into this just, I don't know, the perfect situation for them.
Yeah, no, I mean, yeah, it's crazy last game to close it all out. And obviously, Cloud9 finally managing to clinch their playoff spot. Obviously, there was a bit uncertainty whether or not they had done so or not. But they do, regardless. And even though, you know, they kind of put a nice bow on it, I guess, with that win over NRG, who was their closest enemy on the standings as well. But for me, NRG just being that dark horse who continuously kept surprising us for the entire season. So just very happy to see them do it in Dallas. And now it's about doing it at LAN.
Well, another team that is somewhat surprising that they have found their way into Dallas is Team Optic.
Yeah, well, it's not by their own doing in that sense, honestly. Sure, they managed to scrape out that one victory versus Complexity on Train to end it all, but still their fate was in the hands of, funnily enough, Stanislaw and Team
Liquid.
Liquid.
How that broke down.
Yeah, exactly. I think I saw a very apt tweet about, you know, now every Optic fan has to repent and pray to Stanislaw that he's going to be able to make Liquid complete the comeback versus Luminosity, and they did. So due to that Liquid win on Inferno versus Luminosity, it does send Optic to Dallas. And if I have to be honest, if I had to choose between Optic and Luminosity in terms of, you know, what team do I think can do more versus international opponents at, you know, offline environment, I would have to go with Optic every single time. So, you know, for the sake of, you know, I guess the competitiveness of the entire show, I guess it's okay that Optic end up going to Dallas.
Optic going to Dallas, NRG going to Dallas. Again, let's recap this real quick. We've got SK, Immortals, Liquid, Cloud9, NRG, and Optic going into Dallas into those LAN finals. Anybody else? It's not happening.
It's not happening. It's, you know, they get to try again next season. At least some of them do.
Some of them do.
Yeah, the Foundation is not one of them. Well, I shouldn't speak too early. They do have regulation matches or relegation matches. There we go.
They're gonna get regulated, huh?
Right? Yeah. Well, just like Warren G. No, but it's yeah. For the others, it's, you know, do better next year. It's as simple as that. Obviously, some being a tiny bit more unlucky than others. Luminosity just missing out. Same thing with Misfits as well. And CLG kind of not being able to start off the season hot enough to be in a good position to fight for that top 6. But I think in the end we end up with a pretty solid top 6 from NA.
Well, you know, it's actually that time that, you know, we're going to be shutting the stream down. But I want to say thanks to you for having me. I want to say thanks to Bach for also being here in spirit. Of course, he's at home doing Bach things. And on behalf of Blue Days, the Observers, the production team, Vendetta, Sapphire, the whole 9. Oh, yeah, Eric Bear Stromberg, too, the big homie, doing big things. I want to say thank you to all of you for watching us, and we look forward to seeing you in Dallas.